I thought. Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm vegan. As if like I told you this before, you should know. And I was like, a drink, and she was like, just didn't say anything and left.
Okay, I think I got it now. I think I got it now.
And I honestly was trying to consider if drinks were vegan or not for a moment, and then I was like, wait, no, that's dumb.
Yep, I got it. Okay. Yeah, sorry about those minor technical difficulties.
No worries.
I am going to actually share this properly now.
Now we're cooking with gas,
Definitely.
Mm.
or
Hey
thinking
guys,
with
what do you
portals, or
what do you guys think about the? I feel as if this is kind of like just a New York thing, but like, what do you guys think about the that whole chicken sandwich craze that's been going on?
the Popeyes chicken
The
sandwich.
what? Chicken what?
I guess this is only an American thing, but like the whole chicken sandwich craze that's been going on, where it's like
Are
Popeyes
you talking
versus Chick
about the
Fil A.
Popeyes thing? Yeah,
Yeah,
people are
Because
fucking
I've
insane.
got I've got strong feelings in the story about that.
yeah, and
Um,
a story. Okay,
yeah.
we're gonna have to
Well,
halt the entire session for this
okay,
story.
it's not a long story, but
Yeah,
it's like
stories are great. Go on.
okay, so
Yeah.
I, being a intellectual, am attending college after dropping out 3 years ago.
All right.
And as someone who has now completed one business course in the time I was currently enrolled in business course, and we were studying marketing.
Yeah.
And this was right when the Popeyes chicken sandwich came out.
Yeah.
And I told my roommate, because he went to get it like the same day it came out, and it was like gone after they'd hyped it forever. They just didn't have it, and then it was gone for like I don't know if this happened everywhere else for you guys, but it was gone for a solid like 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I told him I was like, you know what? I've taken one course of marketing and one course in psychology. I think I understand how the world works. So what's
Artificial
gonna happen?
intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what's gonna happen is they are going to take this chicken sandwich,
Yeah.
have it out for a couple days, say they're out of it, put up the signs because they had a sign up that didn't say sorry we're out. They said be back soon,
Be
but
back
without
soon.
a date.
All right.
Without a date. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm on to you. And then I was like, what's gonna happen is they're gonna wait like exactly around a month just to when all the hype starts petering out, but in that meantime, everyone's going to keep going back to Popeyes to check and see if they have it. And when they go there and see they don't, they're just going to order something else instead.
All
So
right.
you're going to
Yep.
drop a crap ton of
Oh,
business,
that's a good
right?
point.
Yeah.
And then the hype is just going to get more and more and more. And as soon as it starts petering out, you release the sandwich. And not only that, but what day do you release it on?
All right. I mean, go on.
A,
Yeah.
a Sunday. Do you know why?
Why?
Because Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh.
fucking 5D chess over here,
Here's
dude.
the real conspiracy theory, though. Are you
Yeah.
ready for
Yeah,
this?
I'm
This
ready
is
for it.
this
All right.
is the
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
400 IQ take.
Yeah. Go on.
How hard do you think it would be to fake a video of people fighting for a Popeyes chicken sandwich in a Popeyes as an owner of a Popeyes?
To drum up the
To
the
drum
hype.
up
Oh, yeah. So you're talking
attention
about
for it.
some
Mm-hmm.
deep fake fucking bum crew fights with chicken sandwiches and
Yeah,
shit.
like
Yeah.
who's to say those aren't real?
Yeah. Seriously. It's
Or
like
they are real.
there's like this classic fucking deep fake video about this like cop who's beating the shit out of this like one black dude, and like it's you would never have guessed it's from Russia. It's crazy. Like it's literally just some like Russian dudes just like deep
Well, you
faking
don't
it.
even have to do deep fake. Like you just pay a bunch of people and you like tell your employees, okay, we're gonna pretend there's a fight in here
Yeah.
to promote the new sandwich because people will freak out over it and want to come to the store and see what happened.
Yeah.
Mm.
We're gonna start now. Okay, what's
Sounds
going
good.
on, guys? We are
So
doing Tales. Excuse me, that's the name of my podcast. We're doing Dungeon Attack Squad Live. This is the second session, and
Woohoo!
We are just cruising, moving to the grooving, having a great time. I am joined, as always, by Scotty, uh,
Hello.
Tim, and
How are
Ryan. There
you?
we go.
Hey there.
And yeah, let's just head right into this shit. Okay, so in the last session, you guys had stumbled upon this very fair and peaceful place in this sea of endless banditry and all kinds of other myriad stuff. Longway Abbey, marked by number 6 on the map, also that flag, which is detailing your current position. You were welcomed in there by the Abbot Moriarty, there we go, and the rest of his staff. And you are currently there with your captive, Clayton, though, I mean, to say that he's still your captive, I'd say would probably be not very accurate, since he has been welcomed as a refugee of sorts into the Abbey. And before we continue, I just want to say to everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you
Yes.
so much for being
Likewise.
alive, and
Aw.
I hope that you stay being alive in the warmth of your family in the light of this wonderful holiday.
For a while longer, at least.
Yeah, exactly. After Christmas, feel free to die whenever you want.
Ooh.
It's getting darker.
All right. But no, seriously, happy holidays. All right. Let us enter into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Holy shit. All right. Let me just pop in my cathedral music from Tabletop Audio so I can get in the mood. Okay, so before we ended off, you guys had just gone to sleep, and it is the new morning. You'd say it's maybe like mid to early spring, maybe. You got a lovely spring breeze. The songbirds are singing heartily in the trees. There is a lovely garden enclosure within the walls of Longway Abbey that promotes the propagation of these lovely songbirds. This seems like possibly the most peaceful place in the world right now, I'd say. I mean, you guys have been traveling around. You guys have beat some men to death horribly. You've been almost beaten yourselves, but you triumphed in the end, of course. But I mean, it would probably suck if you like had a child in this world. Let's be honest, because the first second you go walk out your door, you're in a freaking hard encounter with 3 bandits. Probably not the most optimal way to teach him life lessons and whatnot, but you know, to each their own. At least you guys were equipped to deal with the threat. Some people aren't so lucky. But no, Long Way Abbey. You guys are here, and you have some words for the abbot. I'm pretty sure we agreed on. So yeah, you may start.
Right. So I'm guessing we're all up, all hanging about after a lovely sleep.
To say it was lovely is I'd say a little generous. I mean, they were communal bunks, so definitely not the most high end of bedding arrangements, but
A tolerant sleep maybe.
yes, exactly. I'd say that's a lot
Yeah,
better.
sorry, I'm feeling a little bit of a hangover, so you guys are gonna have to jog my memory. I know we had talked about maybe going into the forest or something, or the abbot was getting strong armed by someone or something.
Okay, so
Uh,
the abbot was getting strong armed by the leader of the bandit camp.
yeah.
So
So are we doing something about that, or are we just gonna keep heading on towards the mountain?
I mean, Dane, the dwarf that you are traveling with to your objective, he is. I mean, if it's for money, he's down for it. I mean, he came out here for adventure. So I mean, if you
Hmm.
guys are in search of more adventure, he's not too keen on exactly participating in the combat elements of it, but he is definitely willing to chill here and give you guys a nice base of operations you can return to, and support you any way that he can as well.
That's good. I'm thinking we should probably talk to the person in charge here, kind of make some kind of deal so we can save our friend's brother from these bandits, and then just clear out the bandits, take their stuff.
Mhm.
Win-win situation for everybody except for the bandits.
I mean, I believe you did tell the abbot about that, and he's very interested in talking to you about it.
Mm-hmm.
So how many of these guys are there? Do we even know that yet?
Clayton would probably know.
We should probably talk to Clayton about this. I mean, there's only what three of us who are equipped to handle any kind of real form of combat. If we're going to be taking on a whole camp of bandits, we should at least get an idea of their number.
Get some get a plan going. Definitely agree.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Marlo, you ever have any experience fighting bandits wherever you're from?
Um, the banditry is different, but not entirely dissimilar.
Different but the same. Fascinating.
Very descriptive too.
All
It's
right,
All right,
well,
mostly cosmetic.
we should probably go talk. Let's talk to Clayton first, and then the abbot about this deal, huh?
sounds like a plan to me.
All
I'm not
right.
one for words, so you guys will have to do your sweet talking and stuff.
I'll do my best. So I guess I go looking around for Clayton. I'm guessing he's in the same or I guess where are we in barracks?
yeah, you're like in the communal sort of resting areas.
Okay, so he'd be along there with us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right now he's just sort of like, rubbing his feet and just putting his boots on and just I guess he's in a sulking mood, I'd say. Just feeling bad
Okay.
about the whole situation he and his brother are in right now, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Clayton, we need a plan in order to if we're going to get your brother out of the camp.
He
So
says, yeah, yeah, go on.
this camp of bandits. Like how many are we talking about? Is there anyone with magical powers or anyone we should keep an eye out for in particular? Or are they all pretty much like just like you, just regular Joe schmoes?
He says, no people with magic tricks or whatever. There's the bandit leader. I think his name is Wallace. Now he's quite crafty, kind of dirty in a fight, so I'd watch out for him. Other than
Mm.
that, I think there was about maybe six or five individuals.
6 or 5? Does that include your brother?
No, they don't. Well, they reserve my brother to do like menial tasks, cooking and cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
So he wouldn't really be a combatant or anything. They'd
What
probably
is
yeah go on.
what does your brother look like so we don't kill him by accident?
He was. I have it written down here. He is blonde hair, brown eyes, and a scarred face. And obviously he's fairly short since he's a youngster.
Okay.
And his name?
I think I said his name was well, you know what? I can't remember, so we're just gonna call him Timothy.
Aw, little Timmy.
Yeah. Let me write that right now so I don't forget it.
All right. So, so how much? Let's say 6 bandits plus the captain.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the camp that might be of use to us that would make me, I don't know, maybe set a trap? Not a Yeah, maybe a trap. Yeah.
He says, well, and he's gonna draw out. He's gonna take like a piece of paper, like a rag or something like that, and like maybe use a knife to scratch into it. And he's gonna draw out like a very loose showing or diagram of the
Mm-hmm.
camp. And he's gonna say it's kind of arranged sort of like this. Those smaller circles are barrels of water. The larger ones are tents, and that one with the X I just drew is the bandit leader's tent.
I see.
Now, in
The
terms of
the nu-
yeah, go on.
the numbers you were saying earlier. Does that include the people you were traveling with on the fork in the road?
He says no, no, that's what would be left.
Okay.
You see, we actually don't even really camp out with them, since we are mostly raiding on that fork in the road. Our camp was a little farther away. Now there wasn't anything really there to take, which is why I didn't mention it. We mostly just carry the tents on our backs. Very simple lean-tos, nothing really major. But this is a whole small encampment. You see, fairly large tents stocked with goods. That's where I suppose the main support camps out. This is where the bandit leader and his little personal guys. Now they're not much stronger than me, but it's still quite dangerous for a small party like yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I just had an idea. I don't know how good of an idea it is. If there's a way we could get Timothy out, we could probably poison that water, couldn't we?
Clayton's sort of eyes perk up, and he's like, "Poison? Hmm. Well, I suppose you can try. Now, but what poison you guys have?"
Oh, I don't have anything. I'm just spitballing here. We don't have the numbers on our side, so we're gonna have to try to do something.
Mm.
I am not too familiar with these lands, but poison grows in abundance nearly everywhere, and these lands seem more poison than the ones I came from.
Scoop up the dirt and shove it in the water.
Yeah.
I imagine that the priests here treat all sorts of illnesses and such. Maybe if they have antidotes, they probably know where the things that poison people. Right? Is that a bad hunch?
Clayton says, "I'd say it's a fair one." And he's going to gather up his belongings and say, "At any rate, I'm coming with you. It's my brother in there, and well, I have to be brave
Mm.
for my brother."
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, you're more useful this time around.
Right. So here's my idea for how to get in. What if one of us pretend like we kind of pretend that the abbey ended up like what's the word I'm looking for? You know, agreeing to their demands. They decide to like sacrifice some of their own, but it's really just us in disguise. I'm thinking you guys could probably dress up in guards uniforms if they have any left, and I can kind of be sold as a prisoner if that's since they probably won't. They'll probably recognize something wrong with the Dragon Man in Abbey armor when they've never seen him around.
Clayton says, "The only problem I see you running into with that plan is, I'd say they're pretty familiar with the bandits around these parts. We don't really communicate with other cells in the area. Not too much, anyway. You would need to
Mm.
have a pretty convincing hook if you want to do something like that."
What do you think, Marlo? You got any other ideas?
Well, they like to use fear to manipulate, and it's a powerful motivator. Who are they afraid of? What are they afraid of?
You say, more than anything, I think that we're afraid of, now, mostly just, well, Martin Ulker especially, but there is this one individual that, comes around the camp every now and again that, well, when he comes around, we're definitely not looking forward to seeing him back again. I'll just say that. It's one of Martin Ulker's road wardens. Now,
Mm-hmm.
he sometimes patrols around these parts. He's got a very gravelly voice and has a habit of hacking up really nasty loogies on the ground. Ugh.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've seen him before.
I think we met. What's his name again?
Yeah. Bullet.
I can't. I can't.
I had it in my book, but my book is no longer in my possession.
No,
It's like
yeah,
I
somewhere
had it
else.
on my notes on my old PC.
I wrote it
What?
down as well. Oh man, but I also lost that note. So let's just.
As a point of order, is it okay for us to be typing in the notes channel to like write down stuff like this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's open, right? You're actually
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
do it.
That
I
way
know
we
you
won't
wanted
lose
us
it.
to keep like the before and after session stuff cleared. I wanted to see if we could type in this one or
No, that one's totally fine.
not. Okay.
But it is the guy that Otwin, the barkeep back in back in Trent had told you about, like to stay away from.
Mm.
Let's just call him Seymour. Yeah. I spelt Seymour wrong on my paper. It literally says say more. Whatever. His name's Seymour.
This is the road warden.
Yes, the road warden
Okay.
that was warning you, quote unquote, about Martin Olker and his voracious temper, I'd say.
Let's see.
And is there any sort of written correspondence that generally accompanies visits,
Like you mean like a letter, like in advance?
uh, or something presented at the time of demands for payment or
He says, no. I mean, he does come around every now and again to collect his dues, for Olker, that is, but usually he just wanders in and just makes himself familiar with the place. He could be over there right now, for all I know.
And these, are you bandits? Are you sanctioned by the Banner Lord, or have you guys been operating outside that?
He says,
Because I know we pretended that we had a writ, and you heeded that. But
yeah, I remember that part. We, the way that it works is that we operate under the guise of just being, roving brigands and whatnot, but in reality, we are in Ulker's pocket, and anything that we take from any of the things that he wants us to steal things from, then we give it to him. So it's assumed that we acquire a certain level of loot, and that certain amount of loot will go to him. Does that answer your question, Ryan?
yeah, I just wasn't sure if were working with him or if they were doing their own thing.
Nope, they were closely related to him.
Okay.
Well, closely in ties with him, essentially. They're business partners, second cousins, you know.
What if when we talk to the abbot, maybe they could spare, like reinforcements for us. So if our plan doesn't go well, we got reinforcements to come in.
Also, reimbursement for our endeavors. I mean, this isn't particularly our problem. It's nice to help people, but I would expect we'd be compensated for our.
That's true. Could take some of the could take some of the stuff that the bandits have, but maybe some we could work out a deal with the abbot because we're looking for supplies for the long road ahead.
Could be nice. So you guys gonna go see the abbot before you head out?
Yeah, I think we should talk to the abbot.
All right, fantastic.
likely.
Okay, so you find the abbot in the communal eating halls. He is just having some lunch. Some bread and cheese and a little bit of wine. Some cured meat. Nothing too major. Nothing too heavy on the stomach, except maybe the cured meat.
Mm.
But he's only having it in small amounts. He's not gonna be running to the toilet. He's fine. But he greets you and says, "Welcome. I do hope that you've all slept well."
It was
Yeah,
quite
those are
lovely. Thank you.
bad worse.
He says,
Well,
I'm glad to hear it. Now, what brings you here to wait, no, hold on. let me remember the conversations I already had. He says so I've heard you've encountered trouble on the way here. Please, I'd love to hear more.
Well, yes, we were set upon by some bandits. Apparently their camp isn't too far from here. The they were part. They're, I want to say, in league with, what's his name, Olker. Oh, old man Olker. Uh,
He's,
I know they were like kind of they were threatening you earlier to pay tribute. Is that correct?
he says, indeed. So my greatest fears are correct. Truly, the rot in this fair nation is a lot deeper than I had expected. We are.
Yeah, it's quite sad when the people of power use that power to just victimize the people they're sworn to protect.
Yeah. He says, we are truly an island of peace in a sea of troubles and worries. But we will endure, as we always have.
While he is monologuing, I would like to try to stuff some of the food he has on his table in my pocket.
Yeah, I mean, pieces of bread, pieces of cheese, you know,
Mm-hmm.
he's got
I
like
don't
a.
want to be noticed.
No, yeah, okay. I mean, so do you want to. I mean, he really isn't looking in your direction, so I don't know if you really want to roll stealth for it, but you can.
Okay. That was a 9. Not a good roll.
Ooh.
He notices you taking it, and he actually just like passes, like he smiles and like shoves the bowl that he had closer towards you.
No, this has got some mold on it. I saw. I was making sure you didn't need it. And
He
I,
says, he says, "Oh, how very nice of you, thank you."
yeah, I'm a nice guy. What can I say?
But he says, excuse me. Now, I suppose you'll all be wondering what I plan to do about these circumstances.
Yeah.
He's,
Yes,
and he says,
it's a lovely place. It'd be a shame to see it fall into ruin and despair like the rest of this place. It's quite depressing.
well, in that case, I'd like it if you all joined me. You seem like capable young men. I'd like it if you all joined me because I will admit I have been asked this before, and well, since you all are, at least I assume, willing to help me do something about it, I'd like to discuss it with the rest of my the staff here.
Mm-hmm.
And he beckons you to come to his personal chambers.
We do hope to help you with this bandit encampment. Our main goal is to help our friend's brother, little Timothy. He and his brother Clayton were taken by the bandits and forced into servitude. So, if possible, we would prefer, Timothy to live if we're to take down this bandit camp.
He says, "Uh, we will discuss it." And he says, and he sort of whispers to you and says, I just simply don't want to talk about this in front of the other people here." And he sort of looks over to like the other people who seek refuge here. They're pretty destitute looking people. A lot of them just look absolutely defeated.
I understand.
I wish not to sully their hearts with talk of such horrible and uncouth matters of business such as this.
I will keep that in mind. It will not happen again.
Yeah, you don't want the abbot being seen paying off a bunch of weirdos to kill the bandits. That'd look real bad. Make it look like you don't know what you're doing or you don't have a handle of the situation. We don't want that.
He smiles very nervously and somewhat angrily at you, and then he sort of he
What?
shoves like
What? You look at me like that for?
he shoves all the pieces of bread in his mouth, and he says Oh, meet me in my chambers. And and he sort of hurries out there really, really quick.
All right.
You guys gotta try this cheese. It's killer. I'm not even joking. Like, so sharp. Here, try it. Come on.
No, I'm not a fan of cheese. Thank you, though.
What is
I did
wrong
take some
with you?
cured meat, though. Do you have any of that left?
Yeah, he had a couple pieces on the plate here. Here.
Okay, I take the meat, freeze it with my breath, then eat it.
We gotta find this man
Toasty.
some grapes.
Yes.
Does it taste better
Literally,
that way?
have
Or?
you ever had
Grapes,
grapes?
yes.
No, the frozen meat.
Yes, it's wonderful. You got to cook it and then you freeze it, and it's lovely because it's got the crispiness of the crispiness of the cooked,
He's got the
but also
Christmas.
the cold, but like the fresh, cold, minty taste of ice.
Yeah.
Like a meat popsicle. Ugh,
Yes.
I'll
Oh.
pass.
So many steps just to eat.
I know, right? I mean,
Well,
just
nothing
put
worth
it in your
doing is
mouth
easy.
and
Oh, now fish. Now, oh, don't even get ready. Start on fish. That is the perfect echelons of culinary arts.
Do you
Frozen fish.
do you think he's waiting in his office for us to join him? Sort of
probably,
wondering why we're not there yet.
probably.
Yeah, that's
Sort of just
why are we wasting time?
stewing about how you called him out in front of everyone here when, you know,
I'm,
perception is reality, as they say.
I mean, I didn't put him in the situation he's in.
Right.
Fair enough.
The bandits did, at least to an extent, so I suppose let's go deal with them.
Hmm.
'Cause if we can't help a little bit, we'll never be able to help a lot.
Ah, yeah. All right, come on, let's go.
Agreed.
Clayton follows him behind after finishing off a mug of an old townsman, which, as I've said before, is literally just like the beer that they have lying around. Nothing special about it. This is the catch-all term for it. All right, so you guys head up a set of winding cobblestone stairs to a central tower in the communal hall. Actually, no. I'm sorry. His main office wouldn't be in the communal hall. It would be in the. It would be in the central sort of worshiping house, just his own
Mm-hmm.
personal quarters. And so you head through there, past the other abbots who are deep in prayer, even passing by a large statue depicting a man in robes who's bearing who has a dove in one hand and a bowl of what looks to be fruit and vegetables in the other.
Marla, who's that?
You're asking me who the man is holding the dove and the bowl of fruit?
I don't know. You seem like a smart guy. You seem like you know things.
In his wanderings, would Marlowe have encountered this saint of passive peace and generosity?
Would you like to? Would you like to roll a? Yeah, religion check.
All right, let's see your foreign religions.
Religions.
Solid 13.
He seems to be some sort of a local figure, like a very, very localized figure, because definitely not any sort of major deity, or maybe even a deity at all, just some sort of a saint, revered
Mm-hmm.
saint, I'd say.
So this gentleman is the patron saint of birds and gifts of fruit. And judging by everything we've encountered so far, uh, hesitant to act and general passiveness.
Huh.
Sort of a whole peace thing going on.
Pretty literal depiction of him. Huh. Usually
Is
they get more abstract with those kinds of things, but
I assume the bird is some sort of symbology. I understand the fruit, but the birds can be assholes, so
D&D
like
in the Museum
geese.
of Modern Art.
Fuck geese and seagulls. Them too. They can all go die for all I care.
Oh God.
As an aside, I just played a game where we had to fight a four-headed goose and as a first level character, and it was fucking miserable. I hated it. Anyway,
What? A four-headed goose?
yeah, it was a hydro goose.
That sounds. Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny.
Have any of you actually been bit by a goose, or like any other like some sort of similar avian creature that's as like aggressive and mean?
An
Not
emu.
How? How? Wait.
It
Florida
was
man.
sad
Hello.
as zoo. It was that how you can like um get in fucking bush gardens and they have all the animals around
Oh.
and like they're all around the vehicle.
Oh yeah.
Like back when I was a kid, before like they altered it to make it so this didn't happen, because people didn't sue as much. Like the animals could get right up next to it, and I had a little ball, and the thing like pecked at my ball, and I tried to
Mhm.
push it away, so it pecked at my hand and it bit me.
Just bit the shit.
I mean,
I
emus are
don't
just
like,
giant geese. I
yeah,
just
I don't
I loop them in
remember
with
like
them.
it. I assume it hurt. Like I cried. I was very young, but yeah,
I mean, listen, when you roll up in his crib like that, what you gotta expect to get, hands thrown at you, bro.
yeah, but it's my ball, man. Fuck off.
Oh, Jesus. Florida man strikes again. Alright. You guys make your way up the stairs to his central quarters. And sitting there, well, right now he's sitting at his desk, sort of like, conversing with, let me, 1 second. There we go. Conversing with the other members of his higher staff. On his left-hand side is his head custodian, Alphonse, which you've met before, and on his right is the Watchmaster Cletus in his armor. Uh, yeah, just on his right, like I said.
Well,
Okay.
are we good to just sit anywhere, or I feel like it'd
Unfortunately,
be
there's no.
more polite to stand.
Well, yeah, there's only one chair in like the corner. Oh, my was two. Unfortunately, there's only like one chair in the corner. But yeah.
All right, you guys want one of you take it. I can stand.
All right, I'll sit down.
Thrilling drama. Who will sit?
Oop. He says, welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us. I believe that there's a situation that we can both be of use to each other.
He says, indeed, yes. Now, how about you, uh, Watchmaster Cletus? How would you like to start? And he says, and he sort of, rubs his temples and says, Moriarty, we've been over this. It's you who's holding up this action. And, Moriarty, sort of like rubs his forehead a bit and says, oh, gentlemen, I simply cannot sanction such an event as this. I know that these bandits are a scourge on the land, but it is simply against the teachings that we have been imparted upon by our fair Remlin Longway to embark on a crusade of violence. I'm sorry. You all understand, don't you? And he's obviously desperate for some sort of approval, because he's probably been talking with his staff members for a while now, and they might not have. Well, the talks don't seem to have really gone anywhere.
I would say that I understand. Not only do I understand, but I sympathize with you. From what I've seen, conflict is often quickly jumped to when there are other means of resolving problems. I also understand that there are greater and lesser goods, as there are greater and lesser evils. And while a man of virtue, uh, as yourself, might wish they had the option of not choosing between these, if you are the protector of these people in this way of life, uh, then not choosing one way or another is doing everyone a disservice. Now, you need not jump immediately to violence. There could still be a way to settle it peacefully or to minimize the amount of bloodshed. My understanding is that most of these bandits don't particularly care for the life or the land that they're living. However, motivated by fear and greed, they don't see any other option.
And he takes a deep breath and says, I'm sorry. I. And he's very obviously shaking, he's sweating, he's in a very, very uncomfortable situation. The custodian chimes in and says, hold on, let me see. Alphonse chimes in and says, I believe whatever is done, if something must be done, violence or what have you not, it should be done as quickly and quietly as possible, so as to make sure that none of the patrons here are not perturbed by any outside threat of violence or retaliation, and that if we must kill, that it is not traced back to here. Though I fear, based on what you must do, that may be impossible.
Hmm.
Perhaps not impossible, but there is a chance, and it would be a shame. I've walked this land for some time now. Most of it has been unpleasant. I am in search of something wonderful and inspiring, and I believe that's what everyone in life is in search for. But in such desolate lands, I can understand why the people have settled simply for peaceful. It would be a shame to tarnish what you have built here.
Wobbly is uncomfortably shifting in his chair and quite visibly biting his tongue.
I understand your concerns over bringing violence to your homes, but I do believe that act, only committing violence in self-defense is a noble act. But it does, but sometimes self-defense means you must strike first. We, my friends and I, we could be your first line of defense. Your soldiers might not even need to join the battle, only as as a last resort, possibly. But I do believe that leaving these bandits to just go on their merry way will bring nothing but hardship for your community.
Yes, in matters such as this, I believe it is generally a good idea to have all parties present state what their ideal outcome is, and then find the common ground. For me, it would be removing the leader of the bandits and scattering the rest to the wind. They may join up with other bandits, they may leave this land entirely, or they may give up the life, but that is up to them. I cannot force their hand, but I do believe something needs to be done, and removing the head of the snake so the body flounders has proved effective in the past.
Clayton's gonna chime in and say, if I might be able to add my 2 cents. The thing is, and I've been there personally, it doesn't seem like a lot of, I guess, the members of my troop really want to be there. I mean, some of them do. Some of the more sadistic ones that The Elker's infected with his vile taint. Some of them relish in the life, but based on what I've seen, most of them just want out.
So, if we were to take down the leader, you think that the ones who don't want this life would turn on the others?
He says the leader that they have there currently, he's definitely helped before in pressing some other citizens. Some of them who I've seen him press quite violently are there now. It's possible, though a lot of them are are in dire sorts, or dire straits, I should say. The world has turned its back on a lot of those poor guys. Few have risen up to help them as you all have. I'd say this meeting might actually be somewhat of a miracle. I don't know if any of you are spiritual. I'm sure not.
No,
Yeah,
not quite.
I'm a big fan of birds and fruit baskets too.
I mean, they are quite nice.
That's what you guys believe in, right? That's what he. Sorry, Abbot Moriarty. I got a question for you.
He says, yes.
When the Abbey encounters, as I'm sure it has, rodents or animals that are getting into the food supplies, what does the Abbey do?
He says, we usually have a mouser. Sometimes we lay a trap. All it takes is... Sorry, go on.
So what you're saying is you don't let the vermin eat all of your food.
He says, and of course not. And I think I understand what you're getting at.
Why not just ask the vermin to leave? Sorry, I'm confused now.
Well, the abbot here seems to be wringing his hands about having to do away with something, and the problem is that if he doesn't do away with the thing will do away with him and the abbey.
Oh, it's a metaphor. Because in reality, you can always, ask vermin politely to relocate.
I haven't tried it myself, but yes.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to detract from
what
your
I'm
point.
trying to get at is why are you so concerned about this image of not being tied to ridding these bandits from this land?
And well, he says, I am a man of peace. When people come through my walls, I guarantee them a life away from the things that we are planning to do here. It would be an absolute stain upon my character to sanction such an event, which is why I'm going to leave it up to Cletus. Cletus, do what you must. All this talk of what we must do has soured my stomach. I feel I might be faint.
It was probably the moldy bread.
I tried to warn you about it.
He says, Cletus, you have been with this abbey for some time. I leave this to you. Gentlemen, please. This abbey is, for many people, all they have left in this world. Ochre or not, it must stand.
As depressing and sad as that is, we'll do our best.
With all due respect, Abbot, if you fail to change, there won't be an abbey for these people. The world around you has changed. It's time to adapt to survive.
But if you become just like everyone else, or if people perceive you to be just like everyone else, then what's the point?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying don't roll over like a coward.
He's at the sound of the word coward, he's going to sort of like clutch his eyes and say, excuse me, and he's gonna rush out the door.
Hit a nerve there.
Cletus is going to he's gonna motion for the custodian to go check up on him. He's gonna say to you all, 1 second, let me get my proper notes. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. He's going to say, I can't thank you gentlemen enough for deciding to come by and help us with this. And he's going to take a piece of paper and start scribbling on it a bit and say, now the important thing, like the head custodian has mentioned, is that we cannot have this fall back on Longway Abbey. This must be secretive. So
Yeah, I think that's the principal thing I take issue with. You don't want your people to know that you're defending them?
I think they just don't want possible retribution from other bandits.
he says, indeed. Now, I would love to go crusading throughout the land, stamping out every evil that I see, but circumstances are different. The evil that lies within that forest is, well, it is aligned with the very man that my ancestors had once called their most important ally, the Marcher Lord of this land. He has the power to wipe Longway Abbey off the face of the map, but I have told Moriarty this many times. He believes that the oath that Remlin Longway made those many, many centuries ago will somehow protect us against the evil that infests the Marcher throne. But it is... I will not call my friend delusional, but Moriarty is from a different age.
He's a coward.
He's an idealist. Some have that luxury.
He's going to say, you may not agree with him. You may see him as a coward, but he has undoubtedly taken us through many, many hardships. He's used to being protected by knights that, let's just say that time is gone. When Ulka took it upon himself to liberate his father from the throne, he became, the position of Marcher Lord became a lot more of a cursed office. Not like it was before. The Ulka previous wasn't as brutal as this one. He still allowed some of the other knightly retinues throughout this land to assist us when we were attacked. Unfortunately, that time is gone. We all are ruled under the heel of that monster.
Look, I don't have any issue with helping you guys out, but I'm not going out of my way to pretend I'm doing it of my own good.
He says,
it's clear you need the help. I'm willing to give it, but I'm not going to pretend that you don't need it and you're not asking for it if anybody asks.
He says, I understand. My only request is that you leave no survivors.
That's a little harsh, don't you think?
Well, I mean, we have to leave one survivor. He's my main reason for going, anyways.
Yeah, Clayton's gonna barge in and say, there's some innocent people in that camp. Men who don't want this life. You're just gonna extinguish them? And, Cletus is going to say, if it is for the good of the Abbey, I will do anything.
There's no reason it needs to trace back to the Abbey, even if there are survivors.
He says, listen, I trust all of your judgment, but... And he sort of crumples up the... by now you probably could tell that he was only scribbling on that paper nervously. He sort of crumples up the paper and tells you all, this is very important. I only say so because... Well, because this is my life, protecting this abbey. It was my father's job and his father's job.
Mm.
It is very important that Ulka does not trace the disappearance of this bandit group to us. I fear that he will undoubtedly suspect it, but Ulka has left us no choice. We must defend ourselves. If anything,
Yeah.
well, if anything, we could at least say that we did not know that they were aligned.
Who would the Abbey call its friends?
Who the Abbey
Its
calls friend?
allies.
Its
Yes.
allies.
Who are your allies?
Okay.
If not the Bannerlord, which towns, which people show you good faith?
Okay, so if you look on the map, I think you guys are... Oh no, you were not on the map. Let me bring you back. So, if we look over here to map markers number 2 and 3. Number 2 is Castle Mulgart, and number 3 is Degwood, and obviously that one's Trent over there, excuse me. Now,
Mm.
how should I say, Degwood and Castle Mulgart, they know well of the plight, well, of the many plights of Longway Abbey, because it's been attacked before. And they all value the service that it, commits to. Like, or rather, they all value the service that it provides as a place of refuge and peace, because these places have known troubles before, and Longway has always been willing to part with its own supplies in order to help them out. And in return, they also do trade with Longway. And if you go up here to the village marked 20 and the castle marked 18, let me just scroll down on my key here. Number 20 is Grumberg, and number 18 is Castle Bruckthorn, who also value their contributions to this land. So, I mean, needless to say that they have allies pretty much everywhere. But the main point of contention that, and Cletus will explain, is that Longway Abbey has been somewhat isolated, because this isn't the only bandit threat. There are organized groups that have kind of sprang up ever since Ulker took power, and based on what you're telling him, it's now obvious why that is. So they have their own personal hangups, obviously, and not only that, but there's spies pretty much everywhere. I mean, if they just if some of the knights in Castle Mulgart or Bruckthorn, if they ride out to Longway Abbey's aid, then Ulker will know. And that also means that Ulker will know that a group of bandits in that area that he sanctioned personally, like you told him, is coming under contact or is coming under threat. And the main point is that Cletus just fears the repercussions if a really organized sort of resistance was made. Because, I mean, people have resisted Ulker before. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for for it not to have happened, because people don't like him generally. It's just that people generally live in fear of him. Now, Castle Bruckthorn especially has, let me just read my notes here real quick. Now, the man there who leads that castle, Lord Christopher Bruckthorn, he's especially, I should say, he lives in a special, well, he has a special relationship with Ulker. Now, this is only a rumor, because Cletus doesn't really venture too far away from Longway. But apparently, Ulker has his wife captive.
Look,
Now,
all I'm saying is all you people hate this damn Ulker fellow, and I mean, seems like the only people who like him or care enough about him are the ones that are the bandits in his pockets. Y'all got to talk to each other. But if you need us to be discreet, we can be discreet.
he says, that's all I ask. And I'd of course be willing to pay you. Though Moriarty wishes to keep his hands clean of this, I am willing to delve into my own personal accounts and see that you are fairly compensated for this work.
Well, I have a certain idea. I turn to Clayton and say, Clayton, I'm guessing you have the people who are not keen on this lifestyle. You have them in your mind, I'm guessing.
He says,
And
yes.
those who enjoy the life of a bandit, would they continue to fight if their leader was dead?
He says, there's only one or two I'm familiar with at the camp who would be willing to do that. And he points back to the map he drew. We'll go back there, just so I can show you. The two tents below, the ones that aren't very close to the to Wallace's tent. Those are the men I'm most familiar with. I think there's about 3 of them over there.
Hmm.
Now those men
Well,
are. Well, sorry. I'll explain. Those men are fresh. Now they're not very keen on this life. The other 2, I believe, in each of the tents near Wallace's. Now those guys they're close. They've drank together. They've been in this business for years. I reckon. That for your plan to work, we'd probably have to engage with those 3.
I see.
If I may, there are, I assume, a plethora of other bandits in the surrounding area.
Probably.
And would they all likely answer to Ulker and his road wardens?
It says more than likely yes.
And the bandits are not all familiar with them, with each other, are they?
No, not really. It's not so heavily centralized. It's mainly organized by Ulker.
All right.
I
So
think our problem now becomes how do we convince how do we get those who would change their lives, how do we get them out of the camp alive? Because they're going to attack us when we just show ourselves.
the first thing we need to do, I think, is isolate their leader with his most trusted and loyal men, the ones who would be willing to fight to keep this life. If we could somehow draw him into a meeting of sorts, get him to bring only the people who he trusts most, uh, a sensitive negotiation or something like that, we'd be able to quickly engage and dispatch him and his loyal men and offer the rest the chance to surrender and leave.
Clayton,
Yes.
He says, yes.
would you be able to return to your camp and tell them that travelers overtook the bandits at the fork? And would Wallace send people down to reinforce?
He says, it is possible.
Who would he send?
He'd likely send the new blood. And then it sort of dawns on him like, yes, he'd likely send the new blood.
So we could get those folks out, but what about your brother?
He says.
Hmm.
Now the
If,
bandit. Oh, sorry, go.
then if we get the new blood out, we can go back to the camp. It'll just be him and his 2 or 3 really loyal followers. Be much easier to take down. Even if maybe even the young blood, if and if could ask the young bloods if they would be willing to help us out. But of course, we're not going to pressure them. Which should just be nice to have some backup.
What we need to think about as well as the main thing is separating the two groups. Either way, that's a win-win for us. But what we need to think about as well is who we're pinning this on.
Us.
Maybe
Aren't we?
a rival bandit gang.
That's what I was thinking. They're numerous, and perhaps one got ambitious, or perhaps one was behind on its quotas to deliver,
Sick and tired of the others.
and it decided it would be easier stealing from a bandit gang that they knew had gold on hand.
Clayton says,
Yes.
yes, I do enjoy that plan. It's happened before, I've heard.
Well, here's
Is
the
there any?
thing. If we're getting the innocents out, we're not letting anybody else survive, are we?
No, because they could just come back like cockroaches.
So, does there need to be a story?
Well, you don't want it to lead back to the Abbey.
So,
So it'd be best to frame a third party.
how is it going to get back to the Abbey if there are no survivors, save those that we want to survive?
I'm thinking, because Clayton, you and your brother were taken by Ulfric. What's his name? Ulfric's? Yeah,
Wallace.
Ulker.
Yeah, ogres.
Ulker's men, right, and forced into servitude.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, what if some of those guards came to the Abbey, saw, like say for example, Clayton and Timothy, and say like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here. Oh, you must have been the ones who killed all the bandits," and then Abbey gets retribution.
What kind of beasts stalk these lands?
Like very rare to find your occasional owl bear, but you'll definitely find like bears and wolves and whatnot.
Maybe an owl bear took the camp.
Owlbears, wolves.
Another bandit camp. I suppose we could have a story for those who come back to the Abbey. I guess that does make sense.
Yeah. Clayton, is there any rival bandits like in the area, and particularly any with like a symbol that we might be able to forge, to fabricate?
He says, that kind of information is kept fairly secret away from us. If there was, then only the leader would know. They keep
Sounds
us.
to me like there's an owl bear afoot.
He says, the leader of our campo, Wallace, he makes sure to keep that sort of information fairly under wraps, if you know what I mean. Like I said, it is a bit decentralized. Ulka mainly coordinates with the other bandit leaders to get it all done. We just have to hope that we can pull our weight before we, and then he slides his neck across his throat.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
You, Clayton, return to camp. Tell Wallace that you were overcome by you underestimated a merchant caravan who had guards with them at the. Wallace sends reinforcements down there. You stay with your brother at the camp. We come to the camp once those reinforcements have left. When we strike, you and your brother flee, return to the Abbey, and we'll take things from there.
He says
We could even have a representative from the Abbey meet those fresh recruits at the fork.
He says the plan. It seems sound. I might be willing to help with it, yes.
Any other thoughts?
I am liking this idea. We should be in a position where if they send the new bloods to the fork in the road, then we can move into the camp. But at the same time, if they decide to move the actual bandits to the forks, we could ambush them on the way.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, Clayton says, what if he sends nobody?
Um, I don't know.
What do you
Maybe
do?
then you'll have to talk to. Maybe if you could talk to some of the other, some of the less inclined bandits, tell them about our plan. Although that might be a bit risky.
If
You can work
he
it out.
if he sends nobody, just take it easy. We'll devise a plan out there in the woods, and uh, you can expect us shortly.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a bandit leader, and one of my primary sources of income is robbing people on a fork in a road, and I don't have people on the fork in that road anymore, the first thing I'm going to do is send people to figure out why I don't have people on the fork in the road anymore, and then keep
And
them there so they're on the fork in the road. But maybe this guy has other motives. I don't know.
and if it's not too much of a concern, you can mention that the caravan you tried to take was well guarded, but their numbers are greatly diminished now. That their transportation was damaged and that they're stuck there for the time being with what looks like a heavy load. Discourage giving him time to consider it.
You could even lead the recruits, the fresh bloods away, and then we can get your brother. If that'll give you reason to leave the camp.
He says, I'm a bit wary with leaving Wallace with my brother. If it does get hairy, but I'm willing to try it. Alright, so, just so we're clear, I'm going to go to the camp to explain what happened. Am I getting this so far?
We're following, yes. We are following you as this is happening, and we are also following in this scenario.
I'm going to say that we left some loot there, but we weren't able to finish them off. I'm going to take the new bloods down to the fork, explain to them the plan, and persuade them to come with me to the Abbey, which I am sure I can do. I'm confident. They did seem very... Well, they did seem very reluctant to work under Ulka's regime, so
Does
I'm
Clayton seem genuine in his motives?
roll an insight.
16.
Okay, let me think for a second. I'm just thinking how to word it. Well, I mean,
I'm trying to get a sense if he's going to fuck off with these bandits to Martin Ulker or something like that. If he's going to start his own bandit camp.
he seems like he just genuinely only concerned about his brother. He might, like, if there is a situation where he gets his brother, he'll probably just leave, like, completely. I mean, it really does seem like he'll just do that.
And he doesn't have any care about the impacts to the Abbey? Is that the impression?
I wouldn't say that, but I'd say that his main focal point of like this entire operation, like it really does just seem that he's only concerned about his brother.
Okay.
Anything else, it might be up in the air, but he is very, very concerned about his brother. I'd say that's the biggest thing that you can tell about his motives. It seems that
Okay.
he doesn't really. Yeah, I mean, I'll say that for sure. He doesn't really care about Ulker, or he doesn't seem to like Ulker. Excuse me. But it's mainly that, and that he cares very, very dearly about his brother.
Mm. So is that agreed then? We're going to want to have the. I know how to words. I swear. So we're going to have Clayton go in, talk to Wallace about how they got their arses kicked, and then try to get what do you say? He'll probably send new bloods out to reinforce the area.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, we can always, ambush them on the way out. How would we know? Because I'm guessing we're probably be a small ways away, overlooking all this. How will we know if if the people sent out are new bloods or not? Maybe you can send some kind of signal, basically just kind of maybe stand on one end of the camp if they're new bloods, one end of the camp if they're not, so we know what to expect.
He thinks about it and says, if they send us, I'll yell out, all right, come on, let's go, guys, or something like that.
Okay, that works too.
Just make sure that you're within earshot.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, I'm not the sneakiest of people. Is the thing.
I can make myself unnoticed.
So I'm wondering if maybe Nope, I lost my train of thought. Never mind.
Needless to say, Clayton is confident in this plan, and he's main thing is that he just wants you guys to help him get his brother out. He's gonna say, listen, if anything happens to my brother, I won't hold it against you, gentlemen. I just want to say that. But, well, let's just hope that this all goes well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, meet us outside, and we'll get what you need to get ready. We'll meet you there. Okay. We'll meet you out in the courtyard.
He says, we are going after dark. Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Sneak.
He says, then I will ready myself. The watchmaster. Oh, yeah, go on.
Because can everybody see in the dark? Because I don't
Pretty sure
think
half dark.
can.
No.
No, I can't. But I'm assuming that the camp would have fires too, right? Because is the camp mostly human, Clayton?
Actually, wait. Are you a human? Shoot? I'm drawing a blank on your character name.
Yes.
Okay, so we literally picked the only three races in 5e that do not have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
Dragonborns don't have dark vision, really?
No.
No.
Only humans, halflings, and dragonborn do not have dark vision.
Ironic.
Well, it's gonna be tough to do this in the dark if we can't see. And lighting a torch might draw more attention to us than if we just went during the day under the cover of the shade of trees.
Mm-hmm.
Clayton says, well, they might be expecting me, so what if I lit a torch?
We still have to see.
No, but I suppose you can follow my lead.
Yeah,
think
maybe hide in the forest once we get close enough. And we could always just set one of the tents on fire.
All right. In the evening, meet us in the courtyard, and we'll do things. I want to have a chat with my fellows here before we depart.
He nods and then heads up. Cletus is going to say, thank you, gentlemen. Expect a reward upon your return.
Yeah, so full disclosure to you guys. Once he gets his brother, I don't know what his plans are. That's all he really cares about. So, I don't know how that impacts our plans, but
That's fine. Once he has his brother, his part of the plan should be done anyway.
well, if this is supposed to be a secret,
Yes, I
and
mean
he
we're
goes and bucks off with his brother to some other town, gets captured and tortured, and confesses that he was part of a plot for the Abbey to do this, that, and the other. That's on us, I suppose.
I understand your concerns, but we can't. This might be ironic saying coming from me. We can't live our lives worrying about what. We can't let what might be, ju- uh, you know,
Yeah, I get what you
direct
mean.
our judgment.
I'm a firm believer in creating many problems and letting them all run into each other as you duck.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. But I was trying to be conscientious of our paladin friends' notions of justice and equity and all that.
Well,
But
thank you.
if I'm fine with setting a few fires and seeing when they. If you guys are.
Yeah, particularly the leader's particularly the leader's tent. If we're going to put any tent on fire, it's got to be that one. Right.
I was referring to metaphorical fires, but yeah, we can set a tent on fire if that's really
Okay. Yeah.
what you want to do. I just wanted to make you all aware of his motivations. They have nothing to do with the Abbey. They may align, they may not. Once he gets his brother, that's all he cares about.
Yeah.
I truly feel that once he gets his brother, they will try to make their own way in the world. Maybe they'll go back to the Abbey. I don't know. I mean, it's a nice place here. Gotta say.
All right. Well, let's get ready for this evening, I suppose.
All right. I would like to look for what's his name, Cletus.
Yes.
All right. Looking around for Cletus, and like, I'm assuming I find him pretty easily. Probably in the common area or whatever.
Oh no, yeah, he's kind of doing his rounds, but you can still find him. Though. He's pretty easy to find him.
Watchmaster Cletus, I was hoping I could talk to you for a quick moment.
He says, "Yes, go on."
Just something that I thought might come in handy. Have you ever heard of a Molotov cocktail?
He says, "I believe so. Isn't it? It's a firebomb of some sort, isn't it? Incendiary
It is.
device?
Yes,
The
an
land
incendiary
of
device.
Molotov.
Yes, so pretty much a bottle of flammable liquid with a cloth. Set fire to the cloth. Throw the bottle. Boom! Fire. There we go. I just feel that something like this might come in handy. I was wondering if you might know of if you have any very high proof alcohol, maybe some oil that we might be able to borrow for this endeavor.
And he said, and this is for clearing the camp, yes?
Mm-hmm.
He says, well, and he gives you a key. He says, now I trust you, Paladin, to take only what you need.
Of course.
I can spare you 3 bottles of lantern oil. Only 3.
Only 3. Understood.
You can find some spare bandages, perhaps, in the same storeroom.
Hey, Cletus, yeah, that's the name. You got just in case anybody's bound out there, you wouldn't happen to have like a little lock jimmy or something like that. Maybe some thieves' tools or disguise kit or anything laying around. Yeah. just that. I know you're a hoity-toity monastery. Yes, Just I figured I'd ask. Anything that'll help.
He's like pointing to like its article in the DMG. Yeah, the DMG I think it is, right? But he says, unfortunately, we don't have anything of the sort in terms of any kind of lock-picking kits or whatever. Unfortunately, you're in the yeah. Unfortunately, you're in the wrong monastery, my friend.
Hey, some people do it as a hobby. Don't judge.
Yes. They're fresh out of your
It's game
implements of
artistry, that's true,
skullduggery.
but
I'm sorry.
completely understandable. Well, thank you very much, Watchmaster Cletus. You actually cut out when you were explaining like where we were supposed to go. Where are we supposed to go for this again? For lantern oil?
I'm sorry. He says it's in a storeroom, basically, and he's willing to
Okay.
part with 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. All right then. And I looked to the other two. Like, got any spare cloth?
Oh, he did. Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
I guess I cut out during that too. He said that there are some bandages in there as well that you can use.
Oh, okay. Lovely. All right then. So yeah, for I guess for like until we leave, I'll just start preparing like one Molotov cocktail ready to go, and I'll just take like just enough cloth for 2 other bottles, and I'll take 2 more bottles of lantern oil from the storeroom, and of course bring the key back to him before we leave.
Dane, his name's Dane, right? Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. His name's Doran. Doran, during this entire escapade, by the way, has been getting quite blasted off his ass on free old townsmen's because they're free.
Hmm.
He's not caused like a
Well,
shortage at this point, but you know, I mean, leave him here for a couple more days. He might get there.
Dorn, you good to stay here while we go? Kick some ass.
He is fast asleep, face down on the table.
well, that answers that.
Yeah.
Look, hey, the sun's setting. We should get a move on.
All right then.
Okay, so I think this is a nice time for a quick 5 minute break. Would you guys say?
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
Sure.
All right. Everybody go get some
Nice.
water, use the bathroom, all that good stuff. We'll be back in 5. Thank you
All right,
so
don't pee long, or you're in trouble.
much.
Aha.
All right, and we're back.
Wonderful.
With more Dungeon Attack Squad. With the greatest, the hottest men in North America.
Well, thank you.
That's me.
Yes, you are the hottest men.
Yes.
Alright. So, it is time to enact this plan and set it in motion. Okay. Alright. First off, let me get y'all's tokens. Real quick. Oh,
We're still on the world map, by the way.
no, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Since you guys did take a long rest, if you go on your character sheets, I believe there is a long rest button on the bottom. Lets you readjust.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, if you click that, it basically adjusts your sheet as if you did take one.
Oh, cool.
So it returns every spell slot and everything that's marked to recharge after a long rest returns. So make sure to give that the good old tried and true click. Alright. Clickety douche. Just make sure I have those actually all clicked and copied. Ready to be pasted. Okay, so as planned, Clayton takes a torch and, stealthily having you guys follow behind him. He's moving. He's decided that, you know what? To make it so it didn't seem that he came from the Abbey, you should probably come from the south side.
Makes sense.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
We're all smart here.
So he's moving down. Or yeah, he's moving up. Telling you guys to be careful as you come up behind him.
Hmm.
He's kind of like rubbing dirt on his face and he's taking cloth and like ripping his clothes and stuff like that.
Clayton, if you want me to beat the shit out of you, I can beat the shit out of you.
He kind of he kind of looks around and says,
You kind of did.
He says, "All right, Clayton, your brother's in there. Do it for Timothy. All right. Not too hard though."
Wait, seriously?
He says, "I want it to look convincing."
Before he finishes his sentence, I swing.
Yeah, just leave like
Do
a
I need
big...
to roll to hit, or?
I mean, I just roll damage. So yeah, so just roll it, but then we'll just take the damage.
Okay, we'll just punch him. That's a bad roll. 4 bludgeoning damage.
I mean, that's almost half his health, so
It's
Just
like
sucker punch him in the gut,
Mhm.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is like I have to aim up, but yeah.
He's like,
and as
he's thinking like, all right. My face is looking pretty clear too. You think he'll notice that?
I mean, I can break a tooth if you want, but I don't know how much more you can take, buddy.
He says, yeah. All right. Oh, all right. This is good, I think. And kind of slaps his
Right.
cheeks a bit and make him like all red and whatnot. And put some dirt
Right.
around his eyes so it makes it
Well,
look like it's darker. All right.
I'm ready my cocktail. I'm not gonna light it yet. I just have it in my hand.
Do we each have one of those, or did you hold on to all of them?
That's a good idea. Yeah, why don't all of us have one? I pass the other 2 along.
I mean, you can easily light those with like a flint and steel.
Yeah. I was like, why am I being so selfish with the Molotovs?
There is actually a racial stereotype held against Dragonborn that they hoard things like
What?
they're like I
Like
mean,
they're dragons.
yeah, like they're like dragons.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, I get in this world anyway. I don't know if that's like
Yeah.
in D&D canon.
No, all dragons like hoarding treasures. So
Yeah. So some people like what they'll do is that they'll comment on that if they want to be mean. Or like some people who are even oblivious, they'll be like, "Hey, where's your horde at?" You know.
Fair enough.
All right. So Clayton is hobbling his way inside the camp's perimeter. You guys can see light off in the distance where there are campfires,
Mm.
and there is some chatter going on. Clayton's going to motion you guys to stay low, and he's
Oh,
going
which end? Which end is he entering from?
the south end.
That's not okay.
You're going to hear some startled voices say, "Oh, who goes there?" And Clayton's gonna say, "Guys, it's Clayton." And they're gonna start chattering about like, "Oh, Clayton, it's you and what happened and all that good stuff." And you're gonna hear a man with quite the lungs. He's gonna yell, "Clayton!" And He's gonna basically start berating him, like like, "Well, where the hell have you been? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to report back here like a day ago." And he's gonna like, there's obviously gonna be sounds of like him saying like, "Listen, I'm sorry," like there's just a general commotion. Oh, excuse me. From what you can hear, it does sound like like Wallace is being fairly hard on him. He's gonna say like, well, I mean, judging based on what you hear, it does sound like he's going through with the plan to a T.
Mm-hmm.
And Wallace is going to say, "So you all got your ass kicked. Isn't that just great? And how did you survive?" And Clayton's gonna. The thing that you agreed on saying was that he escaped, or
I guess he ran once he saw his
Yeah,
other friends
he
die.
escaped to come back to the camp to tell Wallace.
yeah, to sort of add more flavor to the story, he says that he passed out, which is why it took him so long. Because
Mm-hmm.
whoever they were, they gave us a right proper thrashing and all that. He says, but their stuff is still there, and we could retrieve it. I was able to come back and see if there was anything still worth salvaging, and it does seem that they after after we killed their horses, they decided to just leave the stuff there. He's kind of freeballing. He sounds kind of confident, but he's hoping. And Wallace says, "Is that so, huh? Clayton, I'll be honest. I always took you for someone who was quite worthless. But this really does just take it." And he yells over to he's gonna yell over to basically the men that Clayton had seen first. He's gonna say, "Two of you, go see what's over there and report back to me as soon as you can." And he's gonna yell to what you can only assume as one of the three that were there. He's gonna say, "You stay and watch that side of the camp. As for you, Clayton," he's gonna cough and clear his throat. And he says, "I want to have a word with you, my friend. Meet me in my tent."
I'm guessing we can hear all this. Yeah, of course we can. Why would you be telling us if we can't hear it?
Yeah,
What am I doing?
you can hear it. He's gonna before he goes in, he's gonna say, "Keep your eyes open, you two."
I'm going to hide.
So,
I don't want them to see me.
so as we're seeing this, I'm gonna.
I'm sorry, go on.
You go first.
I was gonna say, like, are you approaching the camp? Because like, I'll only make you really roll. I mean, well,
Well, hoping to wait until these two people who are going to the fork have left the camp before.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I get you. I get you. Well, I mean, you're already in position. Like, I'd only really make you roll stealth if you're trying to like, if you're not already in positions and you're trying to like actually hide. You know what I mean? Well, I guess that's an action. Let me think for a second. Well, because you're already hidden. You know, like I mean, you've probably had enough time to hide yourselves, and so like, you probably anticipated the movement. Like you know, which is why.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just at this point in time we're just waiting for them to leave to go check the fork.
Yeah. If you
Okay.
want to move into the camp stealthily, that's when I'd make you roll. And speaking of,
As we watch
yeah,
as
go
we
on.
watch Clayton walk off with Wallace, I'm gonna whisper to the other two like, should we start moving to the north end of the camp? Why am I shouldn't be whispering in real life, but should we move to in the game? I'm whispering. Should we move to the north end of the camp to kind of maybe ambush Wallace in case?
Circle around.
Yeah, circle
Mhm.
around, ambush Wallace in case he's still in the tent, but Clayton leaves.
That
I
would
Go pretty
mean,
same
require.
for these cocktails go to waste.
I was gonna say that would require a stealth check from everyone.
Stealth.
the
So
goal is to get to the leader as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I think that's what we have to do here. Yeah. Do we
yeah.
need to wait for these other two people to leave the camp though before that happens?
One of us can stay in the woods in case things go south
Mm-hmm.
I
to
think
try and hit
Well,
them from other angles.
I
But
think there's strength in numbers and staying grouped together. So just this is where the one guy is positioned, right?
Yeah, he's on the south side.
Okay. And the other two have not left.
Yeah, I mean, judging by this diagram, he did say to meet him in his tent, so you can
But
only.
the two that he told to go check the fork have not left yet.
Oh, by now they're gone. I mean, by
Oh,
now it's been
okay.
long enough that
Okay.
they're gone.
Yeah, then I guess we can either try to take this guy out before he can alert anyone, or we can try
cool.
to sneak around to that side of the tent.
Well, I'm the least sneaky of all of us, so I honestly think that maybe I should stay here near the south side of the camp. You two can kind of circle around, so we can have them. You can have them
How
from both sides, you know.
how big is this camp?
Um, hold on. Let me actually just go to its.
Like, are we like hardcore splitting the party if we do that, or
Oh no, it's on the same map. It's on the same map.
Like within 60 feet, maybe.
Okay. No, I thought you meant like, is it cut up in between like two different things? But hold on, I'm on the map right now as we speak. So give me 1 second. Let me just put these guys to the side because they are not in play. But all right, from like one end to the other, it's about like oh, oops, there it goes my d20. Is like pretty much like 60 feet.
okay? So we need to figure out which tent Clayton's brother is in, so we don't set it on fire.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
Well, well, honestly, I think if we're going to use our cocktails, we should definitely be using it on the leader's tent.
"Okay, well let's get up there and either." So we have two options: we can try to take this guy out, or we can just sneak around.
well,
I
Clayton is
honestly, I still
going to
kind of like my
be.
idea of you two going over there,
Okay.
waiting for an opportunity to throw a cocktail. Me staying over here in case you need backup. I'm not trying to be a coward or anything. I'm just being practical in my
All right,
lack of sneakiness.
all right. I'm gonna try to sneak around to that side of the camp.
Oh, which
All
side? I'm
right.
sorry. Is it the south side?
Whoops, that was sleight of hand. I have the same modifier. Can I use that roll, or do I need to roll again for
No,
stealth?
you can
To
use
the
that roll.
northern side. Uh, so it's a 22 to get to this side of the camp.
Okay. You are now approaching the camp, so I'm going to allow you to. I'm going to put you essentially on the map where you can actually see what's going on. All right.
Okay.
So give me 1 second. Let me just get your token here. There we go. Oh wait, hold on. You can't see. house site. 360. There we go. Now you should be able to see.
Okay. So I'm up here, and this is the northern side of the camp with the bandits.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
one that's marked in red is Clayton.
Okay. I
Those
can
other
just
two
barely.
guys are just like sort of sitting around.
Okay.
Now, as you approach, you hear
Wait.
from.
Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but
No, you're going.
was Marlowe going to be sneaking up with me, or was I just
He,
going by myself?
yeah, he was going to go with you at least to the part where you circle around into the woods.
Because like the way I'm
Is that
having
a
it set
different
up is
angle?
if you're approaching the camp like with him, like right now I have him on the map. If you're approaching it so where you can actually see what's going on in the camp properly,
Hmm.
I would need you to roll stealth for that.
Yep, no problem. Gonna mutter some words in Sylvan and give myself a guidance first, so that's never the wrong play.
Hell yeah.
Nope, can't go wrong.
And then
Add your D4.
solid one, because that's how guidance works.
That's not that bad. It's not bad for
16.
16. Yeah.
Better than nothing. Alright, so Marlo, I'm gonna put you on the board as well. After I give you sight, because I forgot to do that. My eyes are now open. There we go. And I'm gonna put you on the board.
Are these bandits currently armed in the camp?
Yes, they got their
Okay.
weapons ready. Just looking for any signs of danger. Now I was gonna say, as you guys approach that area, you do hear the sounds of somebody getting the daylights beaten out of them coming from this tent, and you can see the shadows of what seems to be Clayton in here, as well as so a lot of cussing and name calling, very nasty words. The words that you'd get in trouble for if you said them in elementary school.
Hmm. Naughty boy.
Yeah. Definitely coming from that same area. There's a candle sort of lighting the inside of it, and so you can definitely see. You can hear some very horrible things essentially happening to our dear boy, Clayton.
I don't want to throw the Molotov. I'm whispering to Marlowe. I don't want to throw the Molotov on there if he can't. We should probably throw them at the other tents.
We don't know which tent has his brother.
Well, I'm assuming his brother isn't bound. He didn't say any. He said he helps out, but he's not a prisoner, right? Do we only want
Yes.
to throw them at these bandits we can see in front of us?
And we don't know who was called away from the camp either.
Oh no, you do
Oh,
know it
we
was
do?
two bandits on the south side.
And he said that those are the fresh recruits, the ones that live in these tents. He told them
Okay.
to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We could try and fireball the bandits from the darkness to create some chaos. I do think our best option is to eliminate the leader as quickly as possible.
All right. And here goes nothing. And I guess I'll throw a Molotov right.
Now I'm pretty sure that counts as an improvised weapon, right?
Sure.
So let me see. Sometimes give it. That's what I want to choose. That's your table. Okay, just making sure like how proficiency would work with that. So I mean, I guess like throwing that would basically be the same as like, throwing a rock.
Okay, so can I use my dex and proficiency for it?
Yeah. I mean, because I'd assume I'm gonna take it as like a simple weapon, basically.
So do I have to target a square? I'm gonna target the square he's occupying. I don't know how wide this spreads, but I guess I'll
I
find it.
believe the way it works, right, is that he has to start his turn in that square. If you do throw it on him, if you throw it at him directly, you'd be doing against his AC, and then the damage would be applied immediately. I mean, I think
Okay.
that's how it is. I'm gonna rule it that way. So
Okay, so
you
if I
can
throw it in the square he's occupying, if he starts his turn in it, he'll take the damage.
yes.
Okay. Do I have to roll to hit that, or do I just succeed?
The AC would basically be like 5.
Okay. 24.
Sorry, hold on. I gotta.
Marlo,
Nice.
are you tossing too, or
Yeah, if we were, yeah, if the plan was to throw it at the two of them, Marlo would be throwing it at the other one. So that
Okay.
would be
Should
a,
I be able to see Marlo and uh, and Connor on the map? Because I can't.
well, we don't have light sources on us, so
Okay.
all you can see is what's illuminated by the only light source, because we
So
don't
like
have
if I
dark
go
vision.
here, you can see my token. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So a D20 plus dexterity plus proficiency then
Yeah.
for
We
targeting this.
we can just say like what you guys kind of just followed each other's silhouettes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because you can see it is very very dim light like in the area that you're around. So
Alright.
so with those stealth rolls, you should have been able to maneuver around each other.
Let's hurl another Molotov.
All right. It hits the ground.
I can hit the ground.
I threw
Oh,
it
yeah.
on the ground.
Happy birthday to the ground.
That is an old video. But
It is.
anyway, the ground is now on fire around these gentlemen. Let me. I think it's a D6 every turn. Let me just look at oil. Yeah. Yeah, if the oil burns 2 rounds and deals 5, oh, it's just flat 5 to any creature that enters the area or ends its turn in the area. Oh no, it's ends. Okay. I said start, so I'm gonna keep it a start.
Okay.
I guess for future reference, but
All right.
whatever. Anyway. Alright, everything I've got is in order. Okay. Now we are going to roll initiative. You guys know what to do.
Yee.
15.
Oh, so my initiative won't come up unless I get a token.
No, yeah, I know. I didn't know if you want to you wanted to run in as soon
Yeah,
as
once
they
I
threw
see,
it.
I would say once Connor saw the Molotov flying, he go like, oh, here we go, and he get ready to fight.
All right, and you're coming from the south side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around.
Can't say I've heard that song before.
He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24. And he was in service of Martin Olcor.
Oh, that big iron.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube about oh yeah, you know what, I'll tell you later. All right, you should see your token now.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, there we go. So you give that initiative
All
a good
right.
old college click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna
Better than nothing.
roll a d20, 5 d20s. That is a lot of ones.
Yes. Oh,
Holy
that's a good
shit.
sign.
What the fuck are the
Yeah.
odds?
Oh my
Wow.
Statistically speaking,
That's
I don't know,
insane.
but
Really though.
Well, rolling 2 nat ones is 1 in 400. That's
That is
holy
really
shit.
funny. If I paid attention to statistics class, I would know the odds.
Oh Jesus. I mean, it's just 20 times 20 times 20 times 5, isn't it? Right?
It's 20 to the 4th power.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it's yeah. I was like, oh yeah, that's not literally what I just said. But
That's like a 1 in 160,000 chance.
and this is the.
Yeah, 160,000.
you're witnessing statistical history here, folks.
That's insane.
We will never see this again in our
You
lifetime.
seriously will never see someone roll 4 ones out of 5 on a d20.
Ladies
That's
and
Just
gentlemen,
never watch me play.
ladies and gentlemen, there is a first for everything. You just witnessed the first.
I mean, I've rolled 3 20s all against the same guy when I was DMing, but I've never rolled 4 1s.
All right, Wobbly,
At once.
as chance would have it, you are the first.
All right, Wobbly's going to sprint up to this tent, and he's going to try to smack who he thinks the leader is through the tent. Is that something he can try to do?
The tent flap, like the cloth would be in the way. It's not a
Can
solid.
I
It definitely isn't a
can I
solid
break
object, but
can I break through the canvas with my quarterstaff, or is it too thick for that?
I'd say it's definitely too thick. You
Okay, all right.
need something with an
So
edge,
hang on. I'm sorry. I was standing here. Is that correct?
like right here.
Okay, and I just can't see the grid because I don't know how far I'm
You
moving.
can
So
enter
5.
from this side.
Okay, yeah. I'll come in here. Am I in the tent at that point?
Yes.
And I'm
You
gonna.
see Clayton basically like on death's door, and you see what you can only assume to be Wallace, sort of lording over him.
Okay, I'm gonna try to smack Wallace with my quarterstaff. That is an 11 to hit.
The 11, unfortunately, does not hit.
Okay, bonus action unarmed strike, 23 to hit for 7
Ooh.
bludgeoning damage as I clock him in the.
That 7 will absolutely hit.
Okay.
Marlo, it is your turn. Oh wait, no, are you done with your turn, Wobbly?
Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay. Marlo, is your turn.
Alrighty, let's take a look here. Marlo is going to shimmy to the side a little bit so he's got a better look. And he is going to place a fairy fire right between these two gentlemen here. So it's a 20-foot cube. So it gets him, it gets Clayton, these two guys, and I don't know if there's anyone else in that cube.
Does it go through thingies?
Yeah, it's anything in the 20-foot
Area.
cube. Yeah. So it goes around corners and stuff.
Alright, so you can see that aura.
So that is a dexterity saving throw against so everyone in that area has to make a dexterity saving throw against DC 13.
Swag. Alright, let's give it a college try. Skadoosh. That's a 3. That's a 19. So this guy passes. I guess Cletus would also have to do it.
Who's
Clayton.
Clayton, I
Clayton?
am
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
And now Wallace is gonna go. He says 13, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Wallace saves. Clayton and this guy do not.
All right. So attacks against them have advantage, and they are illuminated in light,
Fucking
violet light.
Wilson just stamps his brains in. He's like, "Hey, this is easier." All right. And that's your turn, Marlo?
Yes, that's my action. I don't think. Yeah, I don't have any bonus acts that I can use.
All right, Con Air, it is your turn.
All right. I will move forward, move towards the south side. Since I'm going past this guy, I'm going to go for a non-lethal blow and just say, "Stay down." Just kind of like kind of jab him with my warhammer right to the stomach, knock the wind out of him. So I'm going for non-lethal damage here.
Do it. That actually, yeah, that misses. It's a glancing blow, but misses. Oh wait, no, a glancing blow still hits. Right? Yeah, no, it just barely hits.
If it matches, it hits.
No,
Ties hit.
No, yeah, that doesn't hit, unfortunately.
Okay then, that's fine. Well, do I want to risk an attack of opportunity?
It's up to you, my friend.
No, I'm not going to risk it.
Don't risk it.
Actually, no. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm going to risk attack of opportunity.
You do it.
So then I'll try to move up here, because that's as far as I can move now.
You don't have wings, right?
No, I don't have wings.
No, Dragonborns don't have wings.
Unfortunately. Be pretty useful right about now, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh, if only I was a level 14 sorcerer.
Alright, he's gonna swang at you.
Mm-hmm. That is a big fat miss with my 18 AC.
Indeed. Alright. So Clayton is he's gonna gargle some blood at you and like spit on the floor, like trying to motion towards you. Wobbly. He's had the absolute living daylights beaten out of him. But Wallace is going to use this. I know it says the spy, but
It's disengaging.
yes, he is disengaging.
Okay.
He's gonna say, "What the god dang hell?" And he's gonna zip out of there. And then he's gonna run off and notice. Well, he's gonna run to about here. Excuse me. Notice that you're there, Connor. And then yell to the rest of the, like, you know, he's gonna see the fire that basically at this point, like that fire would have just now landed, or just around, like this is around the time that it would have landed, and he's gonna see that his other two, you know, camp members are being afflicted with burnt.
Mm.
So he's gonna yell out like, you know, oh, we're under attack, that sort of thing, commotion, all that.
Kerfuffle.
Exactly. He's gonna try to fire his crossbow bolt at you, Wobbly.
Do I have any cover in the tent?
Yeah, I'd say he can see your silhouette. I'd say you'd have no, not 3/4, half cover. Wait, is there a quarter cover? No, right?
Don't think so.
There's only half and 3/4. Right?
There is
There's-
half cover, which gives you +2 to AC. 3/4, which is +5. Total cover, you can't be hit.
Okay, so you're gonna have half cover against this.
Okay.
Zoop.
That misses.
That crossbow bolt's just gonna whiz right overhead, tearing through the canvas and embedding itself in the canvas on the other side.
Aim lower, jack off.
This guy's getting burntified. He's gonna run out of it. And, you know, extinguish the flames real quick.
Is that an action?
Well, let me just mark this area as being on fire. It wasn't thrown directly onto him, so he was only.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was putting out the fire that was here. I misunderstood. You were
no.
saying he was tapping out the flames on himself.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like right quick, like, you know, tapping it off of his legs and arms and whatnot. But let me think here for a second. If I was a bandit, what would I do?
Surrender and give us all your goods.
Good idea.
That's what you do.
No, the Wallace is going to yell out and point to the tent and say, "Keep him busy." And he's gonna prep his light crossbow and fire it into the canvas again, half cover.
That will hit. Ouch! I have 2 hit points left.
Oh.
Gotta love first level.
This guy also takes 5 damage. He's gonna step out. And he is going to... Let me think for a second. Alright. Wallace is going to say to him... And by the way, like, you guys can do this too, like conversation, like, as long as you keep it fairly short, is basically like a free action in combat.
Yeah.
He's going to say, take that horse and ride back to Yeah, take that horse and get back to Morthelm.
Wait, what horse?
There's actually a horse right here. He's pointing in that direction.
Oh, that. Oh.
You know what? I think I feel as if you guys might have been able to discern that. Now I think about it. Like, cause I mean, they'd obviously be making noise and neighing and shit like that.
So Duke Silver is female.
Oh, hello. Merry
Okay.
Christmas.
She's playing The Sims.
Oh. No, now that I think about it, I might have, without necessarily thinking about the implications, I might have withheld that information. I mean, accidentally, but but it might have maybe made sense for you guys to know that before.
It's fine.
Are you sure?
I mean, that's the fairy fired guy anyway, right? So even if he runs into the darkness, we can see him.
Okay. If it's fine for everybody, I will
I
go.
mean,
I will go through with the previous.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine by me. I awesome.
All right, so he's gonna yell at him to get on the horse. That is half his movement, so he's going to actually make it here, just to untie it. But he's not gonna climb it just yet.
Can we? Is there a way you could illuminate him? Because that's outside of the
Oh yes,
light
you're
source.
right. How much does it make them emit? Like.
Fairy fire. They put off. It says they're outlined in light. It doesn't say they emit a certain distance, but
Okay.
they're outlined. So every object and creature that fail their dexterity saving throw, you basically see like a.
How's that?
Well, that's fine. For me.
Alright, this guy's to the due southwest of you, Connor. He's gonna step over here. And, albeit reluctantly, swing his falchion at you. Literally the worst roll he could have made at that point.
As he does this, I say, "What did I just say?"
He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
You forgot to say please.
He's like absolutely terrified. He doesn't know what the hell you are. Well, it's not that he doesn't know what you are, but he's just like, what the hell is the Dragonborn doing here? Alright, Wobbly, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, Wobbly has 2 hit points left. Wobbly's gonna try to knock this guy off his horse with the quarterstaff.
Godspeed.
Oh, I have,
You have
advantage.
advantage.
Sorry. Let me roll again. That's a 12 to hit.
That will hit.
5 bludgeoning damage.
That will also kill him.
And then with my unarmed strike, Wobbly will give a slap on the horse to get it to run away. So 21 to hit for 6 bludgeoning damage. Get the fuck out of here!
That's pretty good.
The horse dies.
Thank you for that.
Let me see how much health the horse has.
It has way more than 6 hit points.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just wondering, like, if it's at like half or
Not to be a back CTM, I think he deserves inspiration over that.
It's a 13 health. You fucking you break this horse's jaw.
I was just trying to smack its ass to get it out.
No.
The vibrations.
Yeah. You know when like you're
I do the finger exploding heart technique from Kill Bill.
You're like, oh, I'm sorry, heat of the moment. It just came from like hitting one guy, or it just came from killing a man. You're just like, ah. Like,
And
oh,
then,
sorry.
with the last 5 feet of movement, I'm gonna duck behind this tree stump, hopefully, to get some cover.
No, yeah. I'd say because of your diminutive stature, and that is a fairly large tree trunk, it would give you 3/4. All right, Marlo.
All right,
What's going on?
Marlo's gonna start with Eldritch Blast against the main main guy there.
The main boy.
Yeah, the boss. So we're gonna fire an Eldritch Blast. It's a solid 10. So that probably misses.
Unfortunately, yes, it does.
All right, then we're gonna shuffle our way through the darkness. Move a little bit slowly because we can't see. Just over a little bit to be somewhere different than where I shot that blast from. And I can vaguely see Wobbly's token. Is he like in the darkness?
Uh, he's just barely, yeah.
Yeah, but like, can Marlo see where he is?
Oh yeah, no, you should be able to see where he is. You can discern based on the humdrum of battle.
All right.
Where he is.
Well, because if I can see him, then I will use my bonus action to cast my once a day Shield of Faith on him.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Pull out that little paper and hold on to it.
I cough up one of my lungs. That's great.
Yeah, silver energy will shimmer around you, and then that will be it for Marlo's big plays.
Big plays.
Big Dick Marlowe.
Thanks for
Swinging
watching
high.
Yeah, thanks for watching Marlo's big dick plays. Tune in next time as we take on a Tarask. All right. Connor,
Give me
it
a
is.
flying carpet and a longbow. I gotcha.
Well, Connor, it's your turn.
I'm thinking, because we know that Timothy has blonde hair, brown eyes, scarred face. Do any of the bandits fit that description?
Not the ones that you can see.
The
No.
one I just killed.
The one you just
I was
yeah.
about to say.
That kind of looks like Timothy. Ah, shit.
He's like his head split open. He's like, oh no.
I look to the bandit behind me. I say, "Stay here," and I'm going to run towards Wallace. So, I'm guessing that's like 5 feet. What is that blue thing?
Oh, that is what I'm using as a placeholder for the fairy fire. It goes away, right? It just
Oh
goes
yeah, it
away.
went away
Okay.
because my concentration
Ah.
switched when I went to the Shield of Faith. So nobody who was illuminated is illuminated anymore.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Well, you know what? I'm going to move Connor over here, and then in kind of I don't know how to make a line, but kind of like in a line because Wallace is right next to me, and then the guy behind him. I'm going to use my freeze breath on them. It's a I forget what the save is. Sorry.
it is
I think it's con, isn't it?
I think it's
Looking
con
at
save, and then it's your proficiency plus something else.
Plus your
I
Constitution.
definitely is con. Let's see. 8 plus my Constitution plus my proficiency. So that would be
yeah, con
12.
8.
No, 9, 11.
Yeah, it's
11?
8 plus proficiency plus con mod.
Yeah, okay. So they need a saving throw of 11, taking half damage on a saving throw on a success. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Round it down. So 5 if they save.
It's getting cold in here, huh? All right. Let's see if he makes that 11. That's a 3.
Woohoo! That's 1.
That's less than 11.
It is.
Way less.
And what is also less.
Okay, yeah, if he saves, he might actually survive. So let's see. Bandito Crunch is gonna make his con save.
Ooh, he's a hardy one.
He is.
Ah,
He's
like
a
a
hardy
night,
man.
like a winter breeze.
I'm getting cold flashes. All right. Half of 11. I can do this. Wait, is that 6?
You
Half of 11 is
round it
5.
down,
You
5.
round down.
You round
Oh yeah,
down.
yeah, okay, yeah. I was just making sure. I swear I'm good at math. I swear. All right, so Clayton is going to get up, hobble over because both of his, one of his legs is broken.
Oh no!
Because Wallace did quite the hooly doozy on him. He'd have to be at least 1 health. He's gonna hobble outside of the, he's gonna like grab a light crossbow that he finds in there. And he's gonna shoot it. He's gonna, well, aim and shoot it at Wallace over here. And he is a established character, but still just a mere bandit, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you know, getting beaten to absolute piss does have its benefits. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Or its penalties, I should say. So he's gonna unfortunately miss that. Alright, let me see. Cunning action. He's gonna disengage and go right around here. And shoot his hand crossbow at you, Connor.
Oh. A bit rude. That is a miss.
Yep, it's gonna just barely... Yeah, it's just gonna barely miss, ricocheting off the side of your shield.
I give him a little smile and a wink as this happens. Try again.
Alright, let's see. Let me think for a second. This bandit right here is gonna go in his tent real quick. You're gonna see him rummage around and come out and throw a net at you.
At me?
Yes.
Okay then.
Now if I can remember. Let's just strain until it's free. It is still a ranged weapon. It is actually martial, so he's not going to be able to add his proficiency to it because he's not proficient in the usage of nets. So, this is just going to be a d20 plus 1. So whatever this is, just add 1 to it.
13? Not quite.
Nope, you're going to be able to sidestep that real quick.
Thank God for shields and chainmail.
This bandit's not the keenest. Well, he is fairly keen in knowing a bad situation when he sees it. So, Clayton's assessment of him being somewhat reluctant was correct. Though, despite this, the bandit leader is going to yell at him to get out of here and let Ulker know. Or, you know, just warn the others, essentially.
Mm.
Oh, is he just running away?
Shit.
Yes. He's zooming off.
I can't see him anymore.
Disappeared somewhere over here.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and yell out, if you help us kill him, you don't have to do that.
Alright. Wobbly, it is your turn.
Okay. And Wallace is over here somewhere. I can't see him anymore. Is
Yes,
that correct?
Somewhere in this direction, yes.
All right. So if I can't see him anymore, I'll come up and pop, pop. That's an 8 to hit, which will miss, I'm guessing. And then
Unfortunately,
unarmed
yes.
strike is a nat
Ooh.
20. So that'll be 9 points of bludgeoning.
You're gonna basically uppercut his freaking head off.
Yeah. And with the last 5 feet there, I'm going to try to get a little bit behind the tent so I can have some cover still.
Alright.
Oh, wait, no, I can't because I only have 25 feet of movement. I'm a halfling. Okay.
Marlowe, it is your turn, my dear friend.
Alrighty. So we can't see him.
But he can
Move.
see us. Fire
See,
bad.
there is-
Oh,
He'll
fire god.
move 30 feet. 30. There we go. There's the grid. Move 30 feet down into the darkness. And we've got like no idea where this guy is. But
Unfortunately so.
don't want him to get away. So we'll move another 30 feet in the darkness, assuming he can't see as well. And that'll be it. We'll take the dash action.
Alright, Connor. It is your turn.
Hmm.
All you know
So
is that somewhere over here, stuff's going on.
Throw a torch over there.
That's honestly what I was thinking, just lighting a torch and throwing it in that direction. Maybe not the cocktail in case I hit someone I don't want to hit. But
There's definitely something going on over there.
alright, I technically don't even have it. I don't even have a torch. I wonder if I could just take a javelin, put it on fire, throw
you
it.
should with your adventurer's kit or whatever.
Oh
starter
yeah, I
kit
got an
you had.
explorer's pack.
Yeah, you have 10 torches in there.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll take one of the torches in my explorer's pack, light it, and actually, you know what? I'm not gonna throw it. Because if I got the torch, I can see. So I'll just start running in that direction.
Alright, let me just
My
look up how
token
much a
would
torch. Let me just look up how much a light a torch gives. It is 20 foot of dim, 20 foot of bright.
Okay then.
So that's 40
Sorry.
feet in total. With a 20, 360. All players see the light. That is
Alright.
a very bright torch. Oh my god.
So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
So that
So I
was
can
kinda,
move like
that
right
was,
around there.
Oh shit! There's another horse.
Is there? I didn't see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
down
right,
at the bottom.
right down here.
Oh no!
a horse is a source
And
of
a horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Red.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always. I never had the actual opportunity to reference that song.
Well, that's
So
a song?
like, I guess lighting the torch is probably my action, huh?
Yes, I'd say taking it, like the action of taking it out and lighting it, I'd say like accumulates to an action.
Mm-hmm. All right, then in that case, I got nothing else. Like,
All right. Again, Clayton's gonna drag his wounded freaking carcass over here, and by now it's been 2
Kill
rounds.
the horse rider, Clayton.
He, at the very least, could maybe try to hope to at least wound him. He's gonna spit out a couple of teeth and say, "Here goes nothing."
It's
Ooh,
taking a long time to
ooh,
load.
Crit! He
nice.
crit!
he did it. He's a champion.
Heck yeah.
2 crits in a row.
And since it was a crit, you know, unfortunately, I think our one audience member had to go, because I usually do ask him what would happen. I'll just, since it's, you know, 2 crits in a row tonight, I'll just say that it knocks him off his horse.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. It's good to hear.
It's good. All right. All right. So, the bandit leader's gonna run over here and kick this sorry sucker out of the way. He's gonna say, "Move, you idiot!" He's gonna hop on that there horse himself. He's gonna make ready to gallop this old girl off to Nowheresville. The guy with the crossbow in his basically in the center of his chest is gonna yell, "Please don't leave me!" He's gonna prepare to get the hell up on out of there. I'm gonna take my. Alright. It's this bandit's turn, but he got freaking clotheslined off his horse, unfortunately. and he's gonna spend his turn just begging Wallace, just grabbing at his legs, and Wallace is gonna start just beating him away with the butt of his hand crossbow. So right now they're kind of just tussling a bit. Wobbly, it is your turn.
Okay, Wobbly's gonna sprint up to the horse with his full 50 feet of movement, getting ready his quarter step.
And Marlo.
All right, let's see. Marlo is going to move his 30 feet down here, and as he passes Connor by, he's going to touch him on the shoulder and give him a guidance and shout for him to grab that guy. And guidance,
Is that concentration?
yeah, it is concentration.
Okay.
So you're dropping my shield of faith?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm just checking.
Yeah. No, you just need that.
I'm just imagining the shimmer goes down and you're just like, what's that?
Ah, shit!
Big dick plays with Marlo. Tackle his ass.
Oh yeah, what's that freaking? That's that fucking meme song that comes on fucking montage parodies the piano. It's like dun 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 dun.
I can't think for the life of me. All right.
But no, it's your turn.
So, my turn. I'm going to. Yeah, the 25 space, 25 feet of movement.
Kick
Go
his
right up
ass,
there.
Connor!
And I'm going to try and grapple him. Just kind of like grab him by the
kill
scruff of
him.
the neck and just
Kill him with your sword, gun, breath.
No, I'm going to bring him down, like just kind of maybe slam him on the ground just to get him off the horse, just in case.
Kill him with your AK-47 breath.
Okay.
Quick scope.
I already used it. Actually, yeah. I'm gonna hit him with a hammer instead.
Oh, you can grapple. I was just giving you a hard time.
I mean,
You
Connor
do
is
what-
I feel like
Connor.
if he's dead, I'm thinking if he's dead though, then this lovely bandit right here might not have the will to fight or leave. Probably just beg for his life, as you ought to do.
I mean, it's whatever Connor feels he should do. I mean, he did legit like almost beat Clayton to death. So
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
feel
No.
kind of
No.
upset about
Yeah. I'm
that.
going to go with my original. Just kind of like try and grapple him, like grab him, drag him off the horse.
Yes, I believe that is athletics versus athletics or acrobatics.
I'm going to go with my athletics and then plus a D4 from the guidance.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Good call.
Okay. So,
Uh-oh.
and then 1D4. 9.
Let's see if he does it.
Give me another one.
Ah,
Another
rip.
one.
Nah, he's too slippery for you.
But he's gonna provoke attacks of opportunity if he runs away from us.
That's true.
He's gonna, well.
He can't disengage on the horse.
Can he though? No. Probably not. I mean,
The horse is the one moving, not him, right?
Oh yeah. No, he'd have to, in order to use that ability, he'd have to spend half his movement to get off. You're right. Wallace is gonna try to run over to get a better shot because the tree's in the way. He's gonna almost freaking smash his head open on this tree stump because he trips on his broken leg.
Ugh.
Take it easy,
There's
bud.
one thing I can't stand. It's broken bones.
Yeah, no, it's a really horrible feeling.
Ugh.
Actually, no, I've never broken a bone.
It's not pleasant. I broke my leg, and my dad was like, "Walk it off," and I tried for like a day.
No.
Oh my God.
I think that's not what you're supposed to do, actually.
It was
No,
only
that's the exact
fractured
opposite of
like
what you're supposed to do.
3/4 of the way, so like it didn't actually look broken, but
The thing is, bones aren't like hard that way, so it's almost like kind of more tearing it than anything else. It's horrible. But anyway, Wallace is gonna load and fire his crossbow at the bandit leader. I'd say, yeah, he's on his horse. Trees, not. He's at a pretty decent angle. Yeah, Wobbly's not that big, so yeah, he's.
I am 3 feet tall exactly.
Oh my God, this poor bitch.
Clayton made his big dick play for the night.
He did. He's a hero.
He has 3 legs. One of them might be broken, but he's standing on the other 2.
Alright. He's gonna try to get the fuck up on out of there with that horse. The horse is properly spooked because there's a lizard boy and a leprechaun.
Small man.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
leprechaun
hurt you.
messing with him.
All right. So both of us get attack of opportunities then,
Yep.
and I still have guidance.
Nat 20.
Nice.
That's 14 points
That's
of bludgeoning
the
damage.
third. That is
Very
the third.
good.
Freaking
And why
nat
not?
20 of the night.
All right.
Wait, don't you only use?
Oh yeah, it's only on the next roll, and it's not for
Oh.
attacks. You're thinking of bless.
Oh.
I don't
Okay,
have
then.
bless yet.
Hashtag
Okay, never mind
bless.
Wait till
Alright,
my
disregard
bard
that.
levels, then y'all will be blessed all the time.
But no, you freaking brain that horseman, and he's brained.
Wait, the horse or the guy?
No, the guy.
Oh, okay. So we killed the bandit lord.
Yeah,
Dick.
the bandit dick. Now, Tim,
I'll
I
look to the
guess-
bandit.
Yeah, go on.
I'll look to the bandit next to us. Say, choose your next move very carefully.
Clayton's gonna yell, "Just surrender, man. It's okay."
See, as he drags himself into the light.
Yeah. Actually, if he's dragging himself, I'm gonna go over and you lay on hands. And then,
What about me? I call it my other one.
Okay, I will use 2. I don't know. I guess maybe 2 or 3 points enough to heal a broken leg. Maybe, possibly, probably not.
Well, I mean, a broken leg is actually a condition. I'm pretty sure it is one of the lingering wounds we talked about, and I'm pretty sure the only thing you really need to do is just heal it by some amount, like any amount.
Well, you know, I'm gonna give since I can split it, I'm gonna give 3 to wobble, and or
Alright.
wobbly, and 2 to Clayton.
If I could rate how I'm feeling right now on a scale from 1 to 10, it would be 5 out of 10.
Oh man.
Well, I'm living my life at a 9 out of 9, so
That's
in
a weird
perspective.
scale. Why not a 10?
Why not an
I
11,
go to 11
huh?
because I like to take one step beyond.
Yeah.
You guys are weird.
Yeah.
Wait a second. The health values are 9, 10, and 11.
Yeah, where I come from, the highest number is 11. We don't believe in double digits.
Wow. All right then. In that case, I guess I'll just kind of give what's his name, friggin' Clayton. Thank you. I'll give Clayton. I kind of just get him on my back like it's a piggyback ride and say like, okay, let's go find Tim then, huh?
He says he's gonna yell out and say, "Timothy, it's all right. You can come out, Timothy,"
Mm-hmm.
etc., etc. And Timothy is going to rush out of this tent. He's gonna, he's gonna. Well, Clayton's gonna try to get off your back, and they're gonna embrace and all that good shit.
Oh.
It's a touching moment. Timothy's saying, like, he didn't think he was gonna see you again. He heard your voice, but he didn't want to even come out because he was scared of what might happen.
Oh, brotherly love. Wish I had a brother sometimes.
This bandit's gonna sort of tiptoe over to the light and say, "Clayton, what's going on here?" And Clayton's gonna say, "It's all right. They're here to help us."
I really hope the ones that we killed were like the actual bandits and not the ones here by circumstance. Are those the actual bandits, Clayton?
He says, "Yeah, no, these are the guys."
Oh, okay, good. I can sleep easy tonight.
Right, so why don't we why don't you two make sure everyone's okay, toss the bodies, gather up valuables, and I don't know, are we trying to make it look like an owlbear attack? And then people came through later and looted the place?
That sounds reasonable enough
Yep.
to me.
Right.
Sounds
Like Marlo
good.
will pull out his dagger and go, All right, time to make some claw marks. And he will try to make it look as convincing an owlbear attack as possible.
Hey, Clayton's gonna point to your hands, Connor, and say, "Don't you have claws?"
Who, me? Oh, yeah. Look at that. So I'll just start like ripping up parts of the tent with my bare hands.
And
I
make
thought you were going to talk about their bodies. I was like, Jesus Christ! Ah!
and make bear noises while you do it. But yeah,
Actually,
no,
owl
just
bear, so like,
owl bear
crap.
noises.
Yes.
But yeah,
Clayton's gonna say, I mean, we'd probably also have to disembowel some of these bodies here.
A bit unsavory.
it's for the greater good.
It only makes
Great are
sense.
good. I'm not gonna have to eat them, am I?
No.
Oh, thank God. All right, so yeah, I'll just like, I'll do it with my eyes closed, just kind of like if I'm digging, kind of like digging in a sand pit, just like.
Ew.
Gross. It's all icky and corpsey.
Oh God, I think that's his spleen.
Clayton whips out the Lysol.
Thank you.
But no.
Once I'm done with the bodies, just wash my hands, get back to wrecking up tents.
He's gonna say, Clayton's gonna say, I suppose that's everything.
I guess we should actually, well, maybe position the bodies closer together, because it does make sense for an owlbear to go at the south end and go all the way to the north end, then go all the way to the west end. You know what I mean? Might be better if they were all like at one end, but like spaced apart, but still closer together than what they are.
They would have likely tried to bunch together to defend themselves more properly, yeah.
Okay, so I guess let's all move the bodies maybe around here or so.
Here, I'm going to try to throw one of the bodies up against one of the tree stumps.
Okay, that looks convincing.
Clayton's gonna say, well, this was definitely one of the more unpleasant experiences I've ever had.
I mean, you could be dead
For us,
right
it's
now.
Tuesday.
We almost killed you. Just a friendly reminder.
He says, I will definitely not be forgetting that, my friend. And he sort of winces at the fact that he called you his friend. You know, it's kind of a weird thing to say considering the circumstances. But circumstances are always weird.
So do you have a plan of where to go now? Do you think you'll be going back to the Abbey, Timothy, or?
You know, he says, you know what? I'll be honest, I haven't really put that much thought into it, but I suppose I really should be doing what's best for Timothy.
The ocean is vast and mysterious and far away from here. Maybe take up fishing.
I suggest you take the horse, honestly.
And he does look back and notice that the horses are, while somewhat agitated, there is still a couple open. He says, suppose we could just take it and go wherever.
Sell them once you get there. Use the money to start a new life.
He's gonna say, well, all right. Sorry, I was never really good with goodbyes.
That works.
Well, what's more of a hopefully it's more of a see you later.
Don't do any more bandit shit. You're gonna die. You're real weak.
He's gonna say, yeah, definitely not. Yeah. So, goodbye. And well, don't be strangers or whatever.
Yeah. Are you? Could you make a promise here for me since we helped your brother?
He says, no. Listen, I never wanted this life. I think think I made that clear, but
Yeah, that's not what I'm asking.
I promised to do what then?
If you can do me a favor, just the abbot, the abbey didn't ask us to do this. The abbey didn't ask anybody to do this. This was an owlbear attack. All right.
Oh yes, yes, absolutely.
And
Marla
we're also telling this
just
to the other surviving bandit.
yeah, as Marla like carves claw marks into a tree. It's like it was a brutal one. Like throws like entrails fucking over the fucking tree.
An owlbear attack.
Does this other guy understand?
The other guy is absolutely fucking horrified by the fact that you're ripping people's guts out. So I mean, he is agreeing with you, yeah, for sure. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's all right. We're the good guys.
Are we the baddies?
Like, I know the optics on this are not great, but it's for the greater good.
Sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty to do some good in the world.
All right, Clayton's.
Jesus Christ! You have his skin under your. Oh
Oh
God!
God, no!
Oh God!
It won't come out.
It's for the greater good. But now Clayton's gonna take his horse to the Old Town Road. No, I'm kidding. He's gonna mount that horse and take Timothy with you, and Timothy's gonna wave, saying goodbye and all that.
Oh,
And Clayton's just he's gonna ride off into the night, essentially, ride off into the moonlight.
Timothy seems nice. I'm glad we didn't accidentally immolate him. I was a bit worried.
yeah, same.
So
Well, back to the abbey
are
then.
are we taking or leaving the things? Their
let's-
ill-gotten gains.
Nobody else is going to be using them. I don't see why we can't.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, if they don't, if Clayton and Timothy don't want them, and I'm thinking the other bandit is around. Like, you want a little parting gift?
He says, well, I'd rather just be rid of this place, honestly.
Fair enough. I wish you safe travels.
Yeah, and watch out for owlbears. These woods are dangerous.
And he just runs off. He buggers off. All right.
So
Okay,
I think
like to tend to my broken bones, if that's okay.
absolutely you have a rest. Would you like some tea?
Yes.
I don't actually have any tea on me. All of our supplies are back at the abbey, but it was, it seemed polite to offer. But I can make you some later.
I'm good. No tea necessary. Just, I'm feeling back to on that 1 to 10 scale. I'm feeling back to the 10. So no tea.
All right. Well done, gentlemen. I'd say that was a very, very fun session. Did you guys enjoy?
I did.
Yeah, and everything went exactly according to plan.
All right, fantastic.
At no point did we panic.
Yeah.
No,
And I didn't get hit once. It was pretty great.
I was not fearing imminent death.
I mean, I was definitely interested in how you guys were gonna find a way to lessen the overall severity of the encounter. I think that was a great plan. Which is why I didn't
Thank you.
I didn't make any major deviations to it outside of having Clayton get his fucking ass beaten.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that as we were talking. I was like, this bandit's gonna beat the shit out of Clayton when he's like, "Hey, we fucked up, boss. Sorry." I was like, "Yeah, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it."
I feel as if that was properly role played.
And I do like how, I guess you kind of added in the horses, and so we had a kind of emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only points where we were like, fuck, is when people
When
got
we
on the
didn't
horses.
know there were horses. Yeah.
Like I said, I kind of asked myself, like, wait a second, they'd be making horse noises.
It's all right. No worries.
All right.
How much XP did we get for that?
I will tell you right now. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Here we go. Okay, so the main things you find of note are let me say first off is that you guys know where to input your EXP, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have per player, and this is also counting the bandits that you had essentially like had sent off by the bandit leader.
Okay.
Liberated?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. You get 217 EXP for each
So
of you.
close to level 3.
How
Or
much did you
level
say,
2.
sorry?
Yeah. 217 per person.
217.
284, 300. Oof.
And I mean, there's the camp supplies like ropes, pythons. Would they be? The stakes that you drive into the ground
Mhm.
for the
For
tents.
and for rock climbing.
Yeah, exactly. Um, like food, like these rations. There's obviously those buckets, rather those barrels of water. You find a vial of assassin's blood.
Oh.
So that's some poison. Well, I probably should have made you identify that, but fuck it, it's labeled. It's labeled.
Too late now.
Yeah, whatever. And you guys find 3 bottles of what look to be some sort of expensive alcohol,
All right.
freshly sealed,
Hmm.
not even opened yet. I mean, you do find some empty bottles of it, like 2, but it's called Black River Cabernet.
Ooh. Wobble? Wobble. I'm just gonna call you Wobble from now on. Wobble,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, are you familiar with this? You know this? You want?
Expensive shit. And he takes one
Yeah.
of the bottles. Okay, so we got three bottles of what?
It's called Black River Cabernet. They're like a pound each.
And then 1 vial of assassin's blood.
Yeah. You want me to make like a? I mean, yeah, I'll copy and paste all the whole loot list in the loot chat.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And yeah, so that's in there. What I'll do is I'll make a handout that you guys can edit, like called party loot, and you can add some stuff in that you actually want to keep or whatever. And I'll put it in the journal, and everybody can edit it. There we go. So you should see in the journal now.
Lovely.
All right. All right. So we're going to. I'd say this has been a pretty eventful session. So if you guys are okay with it, we can end off right here.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, sounds good.
When we pick
Getting
this
a
up,
bit late now, so.
yeah, when we pick this up next time, we will start in the Abbey and continue on the adventure from there.
Alrighty.
Wonderful. Everyone have a good night. And happy
Yeah.
holidays.
Happy
Yeah, Merry
holidays,
Christmas.
Merry
Happy New
freaking
Year.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, all that good stuff. And the Festivus for the rest of us.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go air some grievances.
Wait. Fair enough. All right.
No,
Yeah, guys.
that's what Festivus is. Have you seen that Seinfeld episode?
What? No.
No, I've never heard of it.
Wait, you just said a Festivus for the rest of us, and you haven't even seen the episode of Seinfeld, the
it just
Festivus episode?